Hey guys, what's up? I am Dan from The New Travel, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the movie Roma. So if you guys watch my channel, you know that I don't really do movie reviews. Like I've actually never sat down and done something like this before. Oh God, I just made myself nervous just by saying that. Okay, but I'm gonna try my best to give you a review, keeping in mind that I'm not someone who reviews movies. So from the opening scene, and this is the only plot detail I'm gonna give you this whole video. The opening scene, you have this steady shot of the camera and you have water coming forward and then coming back. You quickly realize as you see the shot of water, it's the housekeeper, her name's Cleo, and she's cleaning the floor and she's throwing a bucket of water over the floor and you're seeing it come forward and come back. You're seeing this for a long time. It must have been about 2 minutes of just water. And I mean, we live in a period of time when we're so used to quick cuts and, you know, quick action and just everything's supposed to be quick these days. And to have 2 minutes of just water, it's like the director was cleansing our mind and saying, take out all your perceptions of what a movie's supposed to be and slow down and take a chance to appreciate the coming and going of the waves. I don't know, it was like a form of meditation, like breathe deep, slow down, and realize that you're gonna be watching a movie that happens at a slower pace. You're going to be watching a movie that happens at the pace of real life. And the shots you're seeing are following them along the street, sometimes in these incredible long scenes where someone is just kind of running down the sidewalk and you're seeing all of the street vendors and you're seeing, you know, the people and the streets and the trees. And I felt like I was walking down the streets of Roma again. And now I'm jumping ahead to my second part of this. I'm just going to jump ahead now. Like, it was so cool to see my city. I don't own it, of course, but I do feel a deep attachment to Mexico City and to that Roma neighborhood. The neighborhood I'm filming in, by the way, is called Roma Norte, and it's one of my favorite neighborhoods in Mexico City. Roma's an older neighborhood. It's kind of like a hipster neighborhood. A lot of young people live there now. The building that we moved into, we were sharing an apartment with like 4 other people and this crazy little dog that liked to pee on the floor, and that's another story. But the point is, the apartment we moved into wasn't actually that nice of a place. You know, it had all these problems, but it was Roma, the neighborhood, that we fell in love with. And just because it was such a great location and you had that feeling of Roma all around you, how do you explain Roma? It's the kind of place where you sit in a cafe and you feel like this is what Europe must have been like back in the 60s. You don't even know how to describe it, right? It's just a feeling. And the beauty of this movie is that it moves slow enough that you could capture the feeling of Roma. And more than that, the feeling of Mexico. Now, I know film reviews are supposed to be like positive and negative. So I will say one thing that I did not like about this movie. I would have preferred to have it in color. And I know some of you guys are going to say like, you silly Canadian boy. You don't understand the artistic vision that they were going for, huh? Yeah. I'm just being honest, guys. I would have preferred to have it in color because some of the settings were just so beautiful that I wanted to see the full color of it. But I will say that the choice to have it in black and white perhaps amplified some of the sounds that you see through the movie. The lack of color and the lack of music made you hear every sound so distinctly. And when I heard, you know, the calls of the street vendors on the street, or just, oh my God, there was one moment where a garbage truck was going down the street and it sounded exactly like the garbage truck that used to annoy me when I lived in Roma and go down the street. But now it wasn't annoying me. It was like, it just brought me back. It brought me back so vividly. And it also showed me that some things never change in Mexico, do they? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the best way possible. I mean that there's a charm to Mexico, and a garbage truck's not the best example, but a better example would be the way that you see when they're at a restaurant and you have these nice little signs that are just handwritten with the prices, and they're just these classic signs, and those haven't changed since the 70s to today. That artistic feel that you have in Mexico and Mexico City and Roma specifically, it's still there. And if you want to see exactly how much it's still there, a couple of my friends with a channel called the Kinetic Kennons, they did a response to the Roma movie where they actually went to the very house that it was set at.
It is without a doubt where the video was filmed. We could see the doors on the right straight into the house.
And to be honest, it was seeing the Kinetic Kennons response to Roma that inspired me to make this video, because you know, they're not movie reviewers, they're just people with a YouTube channel, and so am I. But I think the great thing about YouTube is it allows anyone to have a voice and anyone to share their response to something like this. If I haven't made it clear enough, it's 2 thumbs up. You got to see it. It's man, there's such a sadness to it as well that I'm not even going to get into in this video, but in the end that just makes it so much more unforgettable. But what I'll remember the most, and this is just how I'm going to conclude this video, what I'll remember the most is not necessarily the sadness, but just the feeling of this is life in Mexico City in 1971. It's the clearest depiction of life that you can have. And I think that's an amazing thing for a filmmaker to do. That's an amazing thing for these actors and actresses to do. Yeah, Roma. Check it out. So guys, that is my little movie review. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, let me know. I could review more things in the future. I mean, you know, there's nothing like a scarf to show how much you dislike someone, huh? Like, as always, guys, I'm Dan from The New Travel. Hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.